This artwork has been supplied to me free of charge from Fanhome.com. Please pop along to their website and see all of the other build-up artworks that they have to offer, as well as other collections of collectible things. I would like to thank Fanhome for providing me with the artwork so I can produce these videos for your enjoyment and educational needs. If you'd like to build one of your own, pop along to fanhome.com. They're available in many countries worldwide. If you do want to build one, leave a note in the comments to let me know how you're getting on. So thank you once more to Fanhome for providing me with this kit. I hope you enjoy the build. Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models. Welcome to issue 27 of building Kitt Knight Rider car. This is a big build episode. Lots of little tiny things to build that are probably never going to be seen. But that's not the point. The point is the fun of the build and knowing that it's there even if you can't see it. But as ever, before we do the build, we're going to have a look through the magazine, see what's what. Nobody does it better, apparently. This is, where are we? Episode 21 of Season 1. Coming to the end of the first season. Piece of industrial espionage video game company. So yeah, I again haven't caught up with these quite yet. I really should. I think I might over the weekend. Yeah, so there we go. This is what's happening in there. We use autopilot on board a telephone. That's a new thing. License plate checker, infrared tracker, pursuit mode, surveillance mode, tinted windows, turbo boost, voice projector, and indeed the X-ray. So yeah, there we go. What are we playing there? Get Closer is the song being played through the episode. At least one bit. Yeah, saw him driving for the rain and on wet ground for the first time. I don't know, it just, yeah, it was a bit wet when they were filming it, so they had to include that in there. Right, in this issue, we will assemble the air compressor and attach it to the turbine housing assembly and air intakes. As I say, lots of bits to put together, which I shall be doing in a moment. I'll put up the page picture in picture as and when I get to each stage. But basically, we're putting it all together and then bolting it into the underneath of the engine where you can't actually see any of it. Yeah. Right, the license plate checker, one of Kitt's most practical functions. Yeah, basically he could just scan the number plate and, you know, he'd know everything about it. So yes, there we go, that's that. I shall clear the bench, I'll get the picture in picture ready, and I shall start putting bits onto the engine. See you in a moment. So here we have all the parts and the screws included in this issue, and as I said, the engine that we've been building up over the last few issues. So on this one, we're starting off with the big bit, which is always a good place to start. We're going to be attaching the compressor part 1 with a BP screw. Let's get a BP screw out of there. Have a look. Lots of screws in this issue because there's obviously lots of things to put together. So let's just get one out of there, leave that there. I shall get my electric screwdriver because I feel that there's going to be quite a lot of screws needing to be put in. I don't want to tire myself out too much. So this is going that way round up into this hole here. So basically just like that. That going in there and holding it in place. Let's see if that's going to work. Feels like that's going to work. That's gone in there. That's some movement to it. I think that's probably the position it will need to be in. So it's going to move a little bit anyway. So we'll worry about that when we put the rest of it together. First, the next bit, we're going to be reassembling this with the bit that looks a bit like that. Again, another BP screw. Let's read the words and see what this is. This is the connector 1 into the side slot of the compressor part 2. So we've got that way round, that way round. That's going in there like that. Okay, and a screw will be going through the middle bit there to hold that in place. Probably doesn't need a screw through there to hold that in place. It was fairly tight fit, and it's obviously going to be assembled into other things, but we'll follow the instructions and do what we're told. You've got to do what you're told. So there we have that in there, nice and easy. So far so good. Next up we are using that and the other bit. Connector 2 fitting into the notch, which is on the side there. It's got a little hooky bit on there, so that will go on there like that, and then that will all go through the middle there. No idea. I'm assuming these are actual, you know, real things that work in the real world, but I just don't know. This is then going on to there. We got orientation from that. Not really. It's that way up and it's like that, and we're using a BP screw. So let's try that again. We're going to be able to rotate these because they don't seem to key in any particular direction. Through there first, then I can see where I'm going on to over here. There. She's not there. It's there, but it isn't. There we go. So let's get that on there and then tighten that down. We'll just leave it in that general direction. It can move a bit. I'm sure we'll be able to wobble it to get it exactly in the right orientation. It seems to be about there. So we'll stick with that for now. Step 5, place the longer end of the bracket 1. Wait a minute, wait a minute. We got extra bits. We got 2 brackets that look very similar. It's definitely that one with the curvy bit on it by the looks of it. And that's going that way round like that. So one bit goes on there, one bit goes down over the top of that. So yeah, that does line up with that. We are using BP screws for that, so I need 2 of those. Right, so this is the tricky bit where you've got to hold it in place while you're screwing one and then make sure it lines up for screwing in the other as well. I can get that any way round into there. Just get that in enough to hold it in place but not actually tight. And then we can play around with the orientation of other bits to get that to line up there. Lined up in there, that's that. Right, then we can tighten that down. Make sure that feels right and looks sort of square and looks good. I'm happy with that. Tighten that down. Then let's tighten that down. And let's tighten that down. Make sure everything stays where we want it to be. So that looks a bit like that. I'm happy with that. Get the other bracket, which I've just dropped. That's going on the other hole there. BP screw. Yeah, who could have possibly have guessed that? Because I'm sure we're going to be using more in a moment, but not quite yet. So we then get that bit that way round, go into there. Lined up, good. There, and that's going off that way. Okay, so far so good. Change it up to the next page. When we're going to be bringing in the little white bit, which is going. Right, place the compressor oil reservoir on the end of the bracket. Secure the base of the reservoir with a bracket with a BP screw, making sure the reservoir is positioned as shown in the picture. So let's get that other screw out because we do need that. Right. So we've got that way round. Putting that on there. The looks of it. There. And when I look at that from the other angle, which is round, it's got to be hanging down a bit like that. Up there. Going upwards on that, like that. Okay, so we're going to aim for there. And hope that I'm reading it all correctly. But that looks like that. And that looks like the little picture-in-picture up there. So hopefully that's okay. We'll find out in a moment because we're going to be using another BP screw. Putting the other side of it into something. All right, we're going to be attaching the other gold bit into there. Right, let's get that in the right orientation so I can see what I'm doing there. That's there. That's going there. Through there. Oh, right, so that's there, and the little gold bit's going into the gold bit, and the big gold bit's going into there and being screwed in. So yes, that's got to be about the right place. Like that. So let's get the screw in through there. Get that started off in there. In. Get it all lined up. Pushed home. So far, so good. Up and down. In. It's doing a thing. Yep. We're going to need another BP screw, obviously. Next step, which looks like this cover going over the back of there. It's got to go the right way round. Use that way round. Winchy bit. Going that way. That's that. Yeah, cool. I like it. It's all going together nicely so far. That's not entirely secure, but I'm pretty sure that's just because of it all wobbling around because I'm holding it and putting screws in and things, but I'm sure that's okay. Right, next up we're going to be using a CP screw, just to break things up a little bit, make things a little bit more interesting. It's the longer version. And we are putting these two other bits on there, so not that yet. No, I haven't missed it. It's coming up soon. So this is going on to there. Right. So this one is just going in there as a plug. Oh, I'm dropping it. I'm not dropping it much though. It's all okay. That's going that way round. Just going into there. Pretty sure it's going to go in a way round that's going to make it up with the curve somewhere, somehow. Not 100% certain that that's correct, but that's what it looks like in the picture. So we'll go with that. This bit is going on over the other hole, and that's where the screw goes through. Go through there, then into there. Lots of little complicated bits on this one. I like it. It's just a little bit tricky. There, that feels like that's turning in. So I get a couple of turns in there. Yep, and then use the power to make life a little bit easier for myself. I'm always at one for making things easier. So that's gone on there like that. I'm happy with that. So far, so good. Next up, take the assembly and fit this onto the air intake mount. Right, this is where the little bit comes in. It's that way up. Can't quite make out where that's going. Let me have a closer look. Okay, it's just sort of pointing in down here somewhere. There is a little hole deep in there. That pin should just fit in. I think. Is that a hole? I'm not convinced that that's actually the hole that I'm thinking it is. It might be. There is a hole there. So let's try that again. It's actually not that bit that's going in. It's the big bit that's going in there. Right. Even harder to do. Not sure that that pin is finished properly. Trying to look at other bits of it in advance to see if I got it the right way around. Looks like I have. So that's got to go in there a bit like that. Except I can't find the bit that it's got to plug into. There's a thing there. Trouble is, it's all black in a black shady area. I can't quite see what I'm doing. Right. In that area, but yeah, I might have to reshape this a little bit to get it to fit in there. So let me come away and see what I can do with that, and then come back to fit it all together. Won't be a moment. Okay, yes, that did just pop in there. It's this piece, the silvery bit here. It's not 100% secure, although it's in fine. I didn't actually shape it or anything. I've just sort of pushed it in. Pretty sure it's going to be okay, but we'll figure it out. When I get to, I think I'm going to have to put a tube on the end of that. So when I have to do that, I might have to have a look at it again. But for now, I'm fairly happy that that's how that should be. Next up, we are putting the whole assembly here. It's going somewhere on there. Let's get it that way around. There we go. All right, yeah, that's all lining up. Go in there. Nice, right. We've got a couple of GM screws to hold that in place. So let's get those out. And yeah, they're going. Where are they going? Thought that was going up there, but it's not. It's one high and one low. So one in the middle of these up here and one in the bottom down there. I thought it was, but the picture doesn't quite make that clear. Let's get the bottom one in first because I can see that. That will hold it in place a little bit while I'm worrying about getting the other one all the way through into there. So this should work. You can actually see where it's got to go. In there, I'm actually going to use a real screwdriver for this that I know I can get in there. Got the lights on it, but it does mean that things line up a little bit better. Let's try that there. Lined up where it should be. Nothing's happening. Yeah, that's tightening up. Oh, so that's that, and that up as well while we're here. So far so good. That's on there tight and secure. Then we've just got the last piece from this is the cover that goes over the top there. CP screws will hold that in place. 3 of those. 2 of those down for storage for possibly use next time, although probably not. One there. One there. And a third one down the bottom. Or what's actually the top, because this is all upside down at the moment. So yes, that is the end of this. So far so good. A longer video today, just for a bit more involved, tiny building of things. I'm sure that one of the upcoming episodes is going to be put these 2 pieces together. So yeah, it's nice to have a variety of lengths of time needed to be spent on things. Obviously we've got tubes to install onto all of these pipes and things, so that will be interesting to do at some point soon. You can actually see all the stuff. I thought it was going to be hidden away a bit more than that, but it isn't. So yeah, it'll be hidden away when the engine's shut, but stuff to see. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the build. Do leave a comment, let me know how you think it's going, and I shall see you very shortly for the next part. Bye bye for now.